Hey everybody. So I do a lot of heavy pulling with my truck. A lot. I mean, the only time I'm driving it is when I'm pulling something. And it's usually the dump trailer here. And this guy weighs 4,880 pounds empty, basically. So when she's full, she's heavy. And last summertime, I was underneath the truck working on it, doing some brake work. And I looked underneath it and I saw my receiver hitch was getting a little rusty. Like, really rusty. And this thing here, I can't believe it hasn't broken, considering what I've pulled behind it. The old bumper was getting a little rough too. So I was on an auction site locally, and they had a bunch of bumpers and receiver hitches and stuff off of, I don't know what they were off of, but they were basically brand new takeoffs, aftermarket bumpers and stuff. And you call and you ask them and they don't have any information on it. So I had to go by taking a chance, and I took a chance, and I found this here on the site, sitting on a pallet with a very beefy, very beefy receiver hitch. And just by chance, she bolted right up. So right now it's mud season, and I got time at home to work on my stuff, so I'm trying to get things done while I can, while I got time to do stuff. So basically, I drove up, picked it up for I think I got $150 for bumper and the receiver. Now that's a steal. That was a heck of a deal, just by chance. I figured if it didn't fit the truck, I'd just sell it, but now I feel a lot safer. That's for sure. I feel a lot safer. So I just wanted to show you what I've been doing. I've been working on my truck. I got my electrical issue straightened out. Now I got rusted out receiver hitch straightened out. Now what I got to do for it is find me some new meats for the back. Fronts are good yet. And then let's see here. Let's walk over here real quick. Still gotta put a clutch kit in that yet. And then I just got this minivan. It's a 2006 Honda Odyssey. And I got it for free. Story of it was, he's an old man and he can't drive anymore. Basically, he bought it, drove it for 3 months, went to Walmart, shut it off, and it wouldn't start back up again. So he took it to a local garage, and they told him that the timing belt broke. So he had it towed home, and it sat for 2 years. He hasn't driven since. Basically wanted it out of his yard. I called tow truck, had it towed home. $80 later, here it is. It's got the 3.5 V6 in it, and it's in decent shape. Oh, it's got those automatic doors on it. But anyways, dog footprints. But it's got 206,000 miles on it. Pretty decent shape. What I'm going to do is, for the heck of it, I'm going to take, and I'm pretty sure the motor's probably shot, but I got some special tools coming, and I'm going to put a timing belt kit in this motor for the heck of it. And if it starts up, great. If it don't, I'm going to take and pull it, get a new motor, and put that timing belt kit in the new motor and slap the motor in here. I think I'd be further ahead putting a new motor in here rather than tearing the heads off and paying for the money to rebuild heads, put it all back together and find out that it's got a bunch of oil leaks or something like that because it's got better compression now, or just something stupid. So I don't think it'll be too bad of a job pulling the motor out of here if I have to, but it'll be a bit of a project. And I guess the best way for a person to tell if your timing belt has broke is you pull your oil cap, look inside there where your valve springs are at and such, and have somebody crank the motor over and see if your valve springs move at all while it's turning over. And if they ain't moving, the belt's broke. And that's what she's doing. She ain't moving at all, so as soon as parts come, I'll be cranking on this. I have to pull it in the shop, and you gotta pull the passenger wheel off and the wheel tub out and go from there. So see what happens with that. And then me and the boy working on another project here. I'll show you. It's an old Powercraft walk-behind tractor. It had a plow on it. We put a snowblower motor on there and put it all together, and then he says he wanted to put a real mower on the back. I told him, why not put a push mower on the front? So we mounted this up yesterday, and he's been playing with it. We're gonna get all this here mowed along the trees here, along the pines, and do this while the ground's still frozen here. I was gonna brush hog it all, but he wants to get around all the trees with it and everything. So just let him do that. He has fun playing with it, but I'm gonna be planting all kinds of trees in here. I get some apple trees and stuff, and then I gotta take the horse fence here, and I'm gonna move it over. Oh, let's see. I started plowing it up, but the ground in here is just so bad. Somebody came in here quite a while ago, and they took and they plowed this, and they left it all dead furrows. They never dissed it up. So I started working on it last fall. Started plowing it up with a little Ferguson, and I'm gonna move that fence line there over to like here, and then I'm gonna get this here all plowed up good and extend it up to the garden over there. Make our garden a lot bigger. Plant corn in here, potatoes, whatever will come up. I'm gonna have to take the dozer and bring the dozer in here, and there's some, you can see it's real low here and high there. I gotta take and knock all that down. That way the water will drain out of the garden area. And then there's some high spots up here too, along this here fence line. This is a real high ridge here. I'm going to take and push all that out with the dozer so it's all flat ground, and run it out to like the corn, where the corn starts here. As soon as there's still frost in the ground here yet, so as soon as the frost comes out, I'm going to try getting all the posts moved and stick them back in and go from there. It's been a couple days, but the parts came for the van, and well, I had this in here before the parts came for the van, and this needs a water pump, so I got it all tore apart for a water pump. What a pain of a job this here was, let me tell you. Yeah. I'm assuming you gotta pull that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, and then those ones, and take the whole front end off with the radiator to do this correctly. But this machine has got the loader on it, so it's kind of a pain to do it otherwise, and I ain't standing underneath the loader while it's up in the air. But basically the fan is real close in here, and I had to take the fan shrouds out and then unbolt the fan from the pulley that bolts to the water pump, and then the water pump bolts to that. Alternator's got to come out, and then there's like some side cover hanger holders here to lock the side cover panels in that had to come out in order to get this all out. It's not fun. When I put this back together, I'm going to put some brand new belts on it. Also, I don't want to tear this apart again. But the water pump on here was leaking pretty good, and I plan on using this machine for my field over there, so I gotta get her fixed, otherwise it ain't no good being broken. It's just gonna cost more money sticking coolant in it all the time than it is to just fix it right. Called all kinds of implement dealers. Nobody knows nothing about parts, so I had to search for part numbers. Finally, one of the local implement dealers, they figured it out. Went there today to get a water pump, and mine takes a 3 5/8 inch impeller, and they had a 4, so they sent out for the right parts. Hopefully they'll be here Friday. A couple days here. Then I can get this thing back together. Doing a oil change in this guy. Basically, it's got a great big humongous cartridge filter in here. Had to take the cover off yesterday and get the part number off the filter, and then get one ordered, and it came this morning, so I'm going to change the oil in it. It takes 11 quarts of oil. Show you something here. It's kind of stupid, but there's your drain plug, and it's right over the axle here, so I don't know how in the heck I'm going to catch my oil. I think what I'm going to do is grab a funnel and stick a funnel underneath it after I get the plug out, and see if I can get it to funnel into the bucket. But the amount that's going to come out of there is probably going to overpower my funnel, so I'll probably end up just having a mess anyways. We'll see, unless I can take and hold the drain plug up there for a while until it starts coming out slower and keep it in the bucket. But that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to start changing the oil in this beast. So it's a 3/4 inch wrench. Just loosen this nut up. Well, I guess it's a bolt that goes all the way through it. You loosen that guy up. And, well, I guess I need that there. See how messy we can get, because it was messy yesterday. Hopefully I don't need two hands here. Should be good. Taking. Yeah, it's some black oil. So anyways, this filter just sits inside of here. You pull it out, slide your new one back in, and there's an O-ring, I'm assuming, goes in around this edge here to seal it. So I'm going to put that new O-ring in while it's apart. And I'm going to start doing that right now because I'm going to need two hands and this thing is messy. So there's the filter number, and here's the new filter and O-ring. That O-ring gasket is the one that went in there. And this is the 401 case diesel 6-cylinder. The older ones had the cartridge filter, the newer ones had a spin-on. I got lucky and I got the older one that's a lot messier, and if I can find a housing for the spin-on, which is just what? A bolt and probably a gasket between the housing and the block, I'd be happy to change it out because it'd be a lot less messier than it is right now. So anyways, I'm going to pull that O-ring gasket out of there, get the new one put in, and get the filter changed, and then I'm going to drain the oil out here. Filter's changed. Here's the old O-ring gasket. And you do want to change these. You can see if you look here, it's crushed. From the edge of this here, seating against it. And I don't know, I wouldn't say you have to change them every single time you change it, but get in a habit of changing them, because they will get brittle and crack and start to leak. So if you have it, change it. It only takes a second to switch it out. What I'm going to do right now is push the bucket underneath and start draining this oil out of here. Drain plug's a 1-inch. I'm going to pull up my sleeves. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But a black oily mess nonetheless. Looks like I'll be wiping that all up when it's done. So anyways, I'm going to let that guy drain for a while. Should fill this bucket up about, I don't know, over halfway. Something like that. Drain plug's in. Now we're over here to fill it, and the oil filler is right on the back side of the starter. So it's where your dipstick's at. So basically I've got 8 quarts there, 9, 10, that would be 11. I got 10.5 quarts. I'm a little low, so basically a half quart, I'll be okay. I'll basically run it, see where it's at, and stick a half a quart in there if I need to. Basically, every oil change is different, so it all depends on how much came out with the filter. If you don't do a filter change, it's 10 quarts. If you do a filter change, it's 11 quarts. I didn't see a quart of oil come out of the filter, but either way, there's still oil inside the motor, so we'll see where it's at. I'm going to get this filled up. Alright, I don't know if you can tell there, but it's just below the full mark. So that half a quart is probably needed, but it'll be okay, honestly. For now, I'll get it in there as soon as I get some. But what we're gonna do, I already got all my oil drained into the jugs that I put in here, of oil that I put in here. So we're gonna see if we get some oil pressure. Should run up to about 40. Make sure we ain't got no leaks. Oh yeah. Sure that filter's got to get filled up. That gauge is showing about 38 pounds oil pressure. This one here is taking a little bit. Not sure why. Try and shut this thing off here real quick. Start it back up again. Well, that's interesting. Should have about 40 pounds. See if it goes up. Figured out why. I had my key back. It's electric. Every time I start this, I turn my key back because there's some solenoid in here that makes a bunch of racket. But yeah, that's... I don't know if you can hear it, but... I don't know if it's this thing buzzing or what, but you can feel them buzzing. This here... We're good. I'm back here to the dozer. Got the water pump done. Put 2 brand new V-belts on it, and the new water pumps in. Filled the radiator up. Got her all topped off. I let it run for a little while, and yeah, we'll see. I gotta put my tools away yet, but I had enough for today. So there it is. Didn't video any of it because you wouldn't want to hear me cussing and swearing at it about how they built it. But picked up 2 cases of antifreeze today at Service Pro. There's a Hellron lubricants local to us, and if you buy it by the case, it comes out to $5.30 a gallon for antifreeze, and that is cheap antifreeze. So I bought 2 cases of it. I'm going to end up having to fix a leak on the radiator on the wheel loader yet too, so everything needs antifreeze around here lately. All the dang projects, I tell you. Everything looks good.